Welcome to the channel. Have you ever felt lost among the network options in your virtual machines? In this video, I will help you understand the different network configuration options, in which cases it is better to apply one or another. And finally, we will see practical examples of configuration in use. Let's get started. VMware offers 5 network modes to connect our virtual machines: bridged, NAT, host only, and custom. Think of them as different ways to connect a network cable to your virtual machine. This video will use VMware's virtualization software as a reference, but the concepts also apply to other virtualization programs, such as VirtualBox or Hypervisor. First, we have bridged mode. This is usually the most used mode. In this mode, the virtual machine behaves like a completely independent device on your physical network. It is as if you had connected it directly to your switch with its own cable. The most important thing is to understand that it works in parallel to the host's physical network adapter. How does it work? To understand it easily, let's look at this connection diagram. On the left, we have our host, which is our physical PC. Inside this PC, we are running VMware, which in turn hosts a virtual machine. The key to this mode is how the virtual machine connects to the external network. As you can see, both the physical PC and the virtual machine have their own network connection that goes to a switch. The host, our physical PC, uses its own physical network card, network adapter 1, to connect to the switch and send and receive data. This is the usual way. The virtual machine, on the other hand, connects through a VMware virtual network system. This system creates a virtual network card, network adapter 2, for the virtual machine. The most important thing about bridged mode is that this virtual network card connects directly to the switch, acting as if it were another physical device on the network. As a result, the virtual machine has its own IP address, as if it were a separate computer. In the diagram, we can see that both device 1, the PLC, and device 2, another PC, are connected to the same switch. From the perspective of these devices, our virtual machine is just one more computer on the network, at the same level as our physical PC. As the network adapter works in parallel to the host's physical network card, the virtual machine does not pass through the network layer of the host operating system, the host, but rather directly shares the physical connection, allowing it to be fully visible to other devices on the local network. When is it usually used? It is ideal for setting up servers. If you want your VM to act as a web server or a file server, and you want others on your network to be able to access it easily. Realistic simulations. Perfect if you need your virtual application to interact with other physical devices as if it were just another machine. Let's see it now applied to a practical example. We have host 1 with the IP address set to automatic, connected by an Ethernet cable to a switch with its own physical network adapter, symbolized in the diagram as network adapter 1. Inside the host, we have 2 virtual machines, each configured with the network in bridged mode, so each machine will have its own virtual network adapter, symbolized as network adapter 2 and 3. We also have another physical PC, host 2, connected to the same network as host 1. Inside this PC, we have another virtual machine also configured as bridged and with its own virtual network adapter, symbolized as network adapter 5. In this example, the objective will be to establish a ping between the 3 virtual machines to demonstrate correct communication between them. To do this, we will define the following IP addresses in each virtual machine. It should be clarified that it is not necessary to modify the IP addresses of the hosts, since each network adapter works independently. The only thing that is needed is that they are physically connected to the network. For this example, their addresses will be left on automatic. Let's see it in action. We are in the first virtual machine of host 1. As you can see, we have it configured in bridged mode and with the IP address 200.123.60.10. In the second virtual machine of host 1, in the same way, with the IP address 200.123.60.20. In host 2, also configured in the same way, with the IP address 200.123.60.30. If we try to ping from machine 1 to 2 and 3, we see that it works correctly. If we try to ping from machine 2 to 1 and 3, we see that it works correctly too. And finally, if we try to ping from machine 3 to 1 and 2, we see that it works correctly. Remember to check the firewalls to have them configured correctly and not block communications. Another fairly common failure is that the wrong network adapter is automatically being bridged. This occurs especially when we have a laptop with Wi-Fi and at the same time we are connected by cable to another device. In this case, VMware may be bridging the Wi-Fi adapter instead of the Ethernet one. To solve this, it may be enough to turn off the Wi-Fi, but the robust solution is to configure it from VMware. To do this, you have to open the Virtual Network Editor. Click on Change Settings. Then, select VMNet 0, which is the bridged adapter, and then select the adapter you want to bridge, which in my case is the Realtek, which corresponds to the host's physical Ethernet adapter. Now, let's talk about NAT, or Network Address Translation. In this mode, VMware creates a private and isolated network just for the virtual machine, giving it an internal IP address that is invisible from the outside. The key concept is that the host PC, host, acts as a router for this private network. When the virtual machine needs to connect to the external network, it passes the traffic to the host. The host then translates the source address, replacing the VM's private IP with its own before sending it. The consequence, and here is the key, is that, to the outside world, all traffic from the virtual machine seems to come directly from our host PC. This keeps the virtual machine hidden and protected, but allows it to access the internet and the network by sharing the host's connection. How does it work? Let's look at the following diagram again. On the left, we have our host, the physical PC, which runs a virtual machine within VMware. The difference here is that only the host is physically connected to the external switch through its network card, Network Adapter 1. The virtual machine does not connect directly to the physical network. Its only connection to the outside is through the host, as indicated by the red line. The process is as follows. When the virtual machine needs to communicate with the external network, it sends its request to the virtual network system. This, in turn, passes it to the host. The host takes that request, translates it by changing the source IP address to its own, and sends it to the network. To the rest of the devices on the network, all communication appears to come directly from our physical PC. They have no way of knowing that a virtual machine is behind it, which keeps it hidden and protected. This is why this network mode is ideal when we want to connect the machine to the internet, as it offers this layer of protection. This is the ideal mode if you want to access untrusted websites or even the deep web. On the other hand, it also has the downside that, to communicate with other elements, such as a PLC, it may not work in many cases due to the masking of the virtual machine's network. The key concept is to understand that external devices cannot initiate a direct communication with the virtual machine, as it is hidden behind the host. When is it usually used? It is ideal for secure browsing. Allows your virtual machine to access the internet, but keeps it isolated and protected from unsolicited incoming connections. Ideal for testing software of dubious origin. Saving IP addresses. As several virtual machines share your host's IP, you don't use up the IPs on your main network. Avoiding conflicts. By being on its own network, there is no risk of your virtual machine's IP clashing with that of another device. Let's see these concepts applied to a practical example. The objective of the following example will be to demonstrate the connectivity of the virtual machine with the internet and the possibility of being able to establish a ping from the machine configured as NAT to one configured as bridge, but not the other way around. In the diagram, you can see that we have a host running the two virtual machines. Both in the host and in the virtual machines, the IP addresses are on automatic and have the following value. On the other hand, we have a switch with internet connectivity. To configure it, simply open the machine's settings box and select NAT mode. As you can see, if we do a search on the internet, it works correctly. And if we try to ping the virtual machine configured as bridged, we get a response. But if we now try to ping from the bridged to the NAT, we have no response, thus demonstrating the layer of protection that this network mode offers, and that external devices cannot initiate communication with the machine configured as NAT. In host-only mode, a completely isolated and private network is created within your PC, and it is shared only between the virtual machine and the host computer, the physical PC. It is as if a network bubble were created that contains only your PC and your virtual machine. Virtual machines in this mode can talk to each other and to the host, but by default, they have no access to the internet and are not visible on your local network. How does it work? A private and contained network is created. The virtualization software, such as VirtualBox or VMware, creates a virtual network adapter on the host computer. This adapter acts as a private network switch. The virtual machine connects to this virtual switch, and the host PC also connects to it through its new virtual network adapter. It offers total isolation, as this network is completely separate from the physical network to which the PC is connected, either Wi-Fi or Ethernet. The virtual machine cannot access the internet or other devices on the local network, and vice versa. Despite the isolation, the host PC and the virtual machine can communicate with each other, as they are both on the same private virtual network. Generally, the virtualization software provides a DHCP server to automatically assign IP addresses within this isolated network. When is it usually used? It is perfect for isolated test environments or sandbox. If you want to test software, analyze malware, or experiment with client-server applications without any risk to your main network, this is your mode. Virtual labs. You can create a lab with multiple VMS that communicate with each other, but are completely isolated from the outside. Let's look at an example now. We have two virtual machines with host-only mode, with the IP addresses set manually and with the values shown. The host has the adapter on automatic and with the IP address shown. With this configuration, we should be able to ping between the two virtual machines, but not to the host. This is because they are in different address ranges. Later, it will be checked how it is possible to ping from the host to the virtual machines if the Ethernet adapters are left on automatic, and therefore, within the same IP address range as the host. To configure it is simple. You just have to select host only in the network properties of the virtual machine. You can see how the configuration of the adapters is in manual, and with the previously defined addresses. You can see how the two machines establish a ping between them. If we now move to the case where the two machines have the network adapter on automatic, not only can they see each other, but the host is also able to see them. And finally, we have the custom mode. After having seen the previous modes, this one is easy to understand. It is really a combination of the previous three, where you can assign a specific configuration to each network adapter, whether it be bridged, NAT, or host only. With this network mode, the VMNet network adapters are assigned their operating mode. By default, VMNet 0 works as bridged, VMNet 1 as host only, and VMNet 8 as NAT. The advantage of this mode is that you can fine-tune each adapter, and it allows you to have greater control over the configuration of parameters. One last key piece of advice. VMware allows you to add several network adapters to the same machine. For example, this could allow us to have two network adapters within the same virtual machine, one configured as NAT, and through which we will access the internet, and another as bridged with which we will communicate with an internal network. To add a new network adapter to the virtual machine, it has to be turned off. Once the machine is off, click on Settings, then click on Add and select Network Adapter. Once it has been added, we can assign it a configuration. In summary, We have explored the different network modes for our virtual machines. The right choice depends fundamentally on two factors: internet access and visibility on the network. If we focus on internet access, Bridged offers a direct connection, like one more computer. NAT accesses securely through the host. Host only, by default, is completely isolated and without access. And if we talk about visibility from the external network, Bridged is fully visible and accessible. NAT keeps the virtual machine hidden and protected. Host only is completely invisible and isolated. Therefore, the final recommendation is very clear. Use Bridged to integrate your virtual machine into the local network as if it were a server or another physical PC. Use NAT for secure and controlled internet access, protecting your machine from external connections. And use Host only to create completely isolated and secure laboratories and test environments. And with that, we come to the end. I hope this guide has been of great help to you and that you now understand much better the differences and uses of network modes in virtual machines. If you have learned something new, the best way to support me is by leaving a like and hitting the subscribe button. I hope this was helpful. See you next time.